One of the awesome things I like about Grey Zone Warfare is the exploration part, and one thing I definitely wanted to start utilizing is decent money runs, decent loot runs which we can use, especially if you're playing PvP, have a really bad session and you want to start making some money again. These loot runs are for you. Each video is going to focus on a different run. They can be high loot runs, they can be low risk loot runs. And today we're going to focus on one which is very low risk. It's not based in any of the high tier areas, but you can make a hell of a lot of loot in a really fast amount of time if you have these two keys. Now the two keys we're talking about is the Fanny Paradise Office key, which I can never take seriously every single time I say it, and then the Ban Khamphet house key. Both of these locations are basically right next to each other, separated with also a cop, which is a handy spawn point on if you die. Now, don't fret. These keys can be pretty easy to find once you know how to farm them. So firstly, whereabouts are these two locations we're talking about and how do we farm the key? Well, here is Mithras Security Systems, and it's just up the road to the right here. If you look for the Spielberg major control point and you land at November 1, that will be the best place to get to it. And then we just zoom in here, and here's the two locations. So Fanny Paradise is just here, and this is how it looks like. It has a few AI guarding it, but it is very, very low risk, and you should easily be able to get in there with no troubles. The other place we're looking at is Ban Khamphet, which is like a burnt down village. Again, maybe about 2 or 3 AI tops. Really good places to loot, and we'll show that in the loot run. So again, how do we get these keys? Well, going back to the map here, if you just go up from Paradise, you got a patrols all along here, and the first place, which is a really good place to check out, is the radio tower. Now, the radio tower has around 3 to 4 AI patrolling around there. You can just be careful when you're going up there to loot. Make sure you take all these out and check for all of them. There could be a possibility that they also have the key there. The other worthy mention is going to be just here in the ambushed UNLR convoy. The AI also patrolling around here can have the BK and Paradise key. So just check around here, go around these 2 areas. I normally just spawn at November 1. A worthy mention is to actually just before you head up to farm the key is to go over to Spielberg over here. Either take it if you haven't, but you should take it if you're maybe Mithras. And then check to grab the box here. I will have a little showcase of where that box is. That can also spawn 3++ gear. And there's a worthy stop just to quickly see if you can get some easy gear before we do this run. Then obviously head over to the radio tower. Then go down to the convoy. Kill the AI here. And then once you've found the key, eventually you can then do the loot run we're going to do. Okay, so just actually along the road here where we're actually getting to Paradise and Ban, I was just killing a few AI here just to see if I could find one of these keys for an example for you guys. And just this patrol here, I actually found the BK house again. So again, just if you're going along, you just want to make sure when it comes to the actual farming for the keys for this, go to the radio tower, go to the convoy area, kill any patrols around this area, go to Ban, Paradise. Definitely worth coming here to farm the AI to get these keys, because you're going to see why it'll be definitely worth it. So I just killed one bot here. I'm actually going to see if the bot over here has a key. And we might as well start the video recording from here because we're very close to Paradise anyway. So let's see what he's got. And I can give you some little tips for when it comes to looting. So I just double click and press escape to check places. Now there was some money in here, so double click. If you want to just transport this over, as long as you got some money in your task container ready, which I do, if you just press control and left click, it'll actually automatically fill that up. Another thing you can also do is, for example, if you find the money in it and you didn't want to just check everywhere, you can actually just press right click on the money you have already on you, click top up, and it'll also take the money from the AI. Just something there to do. But for fast looting, I just press F, double click to check, and press tab to come off. And it's a great way of just quickly checking for high value loot, money, and the keys that you're looking for. So let's now head up to where we want to go, which is Old Fanny Paradise here. That cracks me up, the name. There's generally and normally around 3 to 4 AI around here you can kill to just farm for the key. And we will kill them and have a look and see if they do have the key on them. I can see one just up here now. Let's just take him out. One's down. Is that a bot there? There is a bot just in the thing there. Did I kill it? Got him that time. No, nearly. I think the he's down now. It's because I think the fencing's stopping him from taking all the hits there. Right, let's just sort out our stomach, which sounded like literally like we was about to crap ourselves. So let's just top up our food here, and then we'll go in. All right, cool. Right, let's just check our ammo. We're all good. Now, we've got to be careful. Like I said, there could be 1 or 2 people around here. Catch you off guard. Normally one patrolling around here, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. By the way, I just pressed V here to check my ammo, and then I right-click to just cancel the animation so you can really check your ammo fast and see if you need to reload or not. Just something which can save you a little bit of time now and again when you're doing, you're in the middle of a fight. Okay, so let's just loot these guys up. Again, double-click, control left click and off. Double-click, control left click, take the nade, come off. We can loot this guy we killed over here. Again, double-click, and he's got some high-value loot. Again, this is why we always loot the bots, for keys and for high-value loot. And then we want to go into here, open this all up, and look over on this table just here. Everyone misses this. This purse here is lootable. There's a lot more kind of lootable items and cases and things like that around here. And one of them is the purse. The purse and the jewelry box can have some really decent loot. So let's have a little look what they got for us in this time. Got some good money, ring, and a load of money. We're actually up to 1,946 on this visit already just from grabbing the money, and we also have some high value loot. Now heading over, you can loot the body down here, which can sometimes have high value loot. Hasn't a minute. We'll just take a swig of that, might as well, just to fill up our hunger. And you want to check around the tables here. There's actually one here. Just check around the tables and see if there's always spawns, loose loot spawns for pretty much anything around on the table. So just make sure you do check all tables, because there could be something worthwhile grabbing. So yeah, check all the tables, check around the chairs and stuff like that. Again, this table's got a backpack. Again, it can just be anything. Coming through behind here again, checking around here. You see things like tracking on here. Little tracking devices down again. This is a lootable cooler. So if you are hungry and stuff, you can get food and drink from here. And then you've got a firearms box here, which can spawn an SVD of many other things. Hasn't got what we need for. Let's just see what we do here. We can mostly grab this and take this off it. I'll take the scope off it for now, but not really worth taking too much of. I think we could maybe take the PT off him, and I'm good for that. And then this, let's just take the PU rings off it, which is the scope off it, and just leave it at that. We can get rid of anything we don't need here later on, but that's fine for now. Now what we want to do is go into this room here, which is the FP office. This is the kind of bread and butter of one of the loot rooms we want to go for. And this place has some really nice stuff. So the first thing I would do is loot the jewelry box. And again, more high value loot in here. Then we want to go over to the MSS gearbox. And this can spawn like the other place, like the major cops, can spawn 3++ gear. Has quite a decent helmet, so I am going to obviously drop this because it's not as worth as much. I'm going to put the helmet on instead. Like I said, it's really good though. I would definitely recommend coming here because you can build up a lot of 3++ armor from checking these crates. We've just been a little bit unlucky this time. And then last but not least, we do have a safe here, and it's going to be a code. The code can be found just below the desk here, and it's called Intel. This code always changes. And so we just want to make sure that we jot this down, unless you can remember it. So 5683 and 8597. Okay, just jotted that down, and then we can come into here and then we do it. Now you press up and down to put the numbers in, and then you press A and D to switch between the actual sections. So the first one is going to be 56, so I'm just going to go to 56, then I'm going to press D, and then we're going to go to 83, A again, and then we're going to go to 85, and then 97. Then we just press F, and we'll open it up. Now, this can be a little bit bugged, this safe. Sometimes it doesn't spawn anything in it. It has been good for us today, though. So let's grab it, and we've got ourselves some more high-value loot. What we're going to do now is head out of here. So, what you can do is go and take Warden. I would 100% go and do this because it's on the way to our next place. And then if you do die, you can at least then spawn here and then go back to your body. Grab the money. Leave the scope for that one. More money. I want to see if they had any keys on them too, like the ones which guard. And then we come around here. I think we got one more I killed over here. Yeah. And then just capture this. Alright, there we go. So, now we've got access to the vendors here. What we can do is I'm just going to drop this all the way down, and we're going to put all the loot which we kind of gathered here. Let's put them in the ammo case. Nice. And I'll put the key over here for now. Let's drag out the way. Alright, so the next place we want to go, and I think actually we'll buy some more. Well, actually we've got loads of nades. I don't need to buy any more. Let's bring a few more nades with us if we need them, just in case. That should be fine. Right. Next place we're going to go is here, Ban. So I'm just going to make a waypoint and start heading over there. Now the first place to loot is actually just coming up, and this was actually a help from a viewer. We was only going here to go and loot the room, but they also told us about some crates around here, so they're well worth looting. You're going to go run by them anyway. They can have some really annoying mess stuff in them now and again too, but it's always worth just checking them because you never know what you're going to find. So the first one is just here. Just down here. Buried caches. Again, these buried caches are awesome. This one's got some money, so I'm going to drag the money here because we haven't found any money, or we've got rid of it. So put it here. And that's our first one we can use. I'm going to get rid of some of the AI here. There was a few AI around here. Around the houses and stuff. But that's the first we want to loot. You can go and loot all this area if you want. I'm not going to do so just because it makes a little bit more time. I just want to show you the main areas here. The two main things, or three main things to check. But you could definitely find more stuff by looting all around here. We did spend a good time over here last time. We did come out with some good stuff. Surprised I can't see anyone actually. There should be more AI around here. But okay, no problems. I'm going to loot this guy just in case we find the key. Gather the items here. Have a quick drink. I normally just try and eat and drink anything I get just so we don't run out of hunger and thirst. Again, I just scope in, see what I can see. I see one actually just there. Okay, so Worthy mentioned building. We're going to talk about it is over there, and we'll look at that in a minute. Let's just make sure there's no AI there. There is one patrolling there. You can get a chance to shoot him. Grab the ammo from this. Not the ammo, sorry. Grab the scope from here. You can. Some people will definitely comment about doing this. You can do this also, where you can detach the magazine, detach the grip, and put it in so like that, and it will use up just like so one slot. You can also, if you don't want to do that, you can just go to it, right click and detach the upper, and that will fit only by 4. Right, so this is the first house. Let's go in and lock it and have a little look. Now, again, you can go around here and look all around these area and have a little look. But the main reason we're coming here is there's another jewelry box. Again, getting ourselves some more high value loot. Not really anything else worth it. We'll check the civilian chest because they can be worth. And long and behold, found a ring here. Leave everything else there. So those are the 2 crates you want to loot in here. And then we're just going to go over to now the Worthy mention and the secret cache. In fact, it's this building which is the Worthy mention, not the one I said beforehand. Make sure there's no AI in here. No. We'll look at this building in a minute. Let's go and loot him. See if he's got anything on him. No. Okay, so the next cache is just behind this Worthy building. And it's just here. Just behind this little shed. Never buried cache. Again, can spawn really random stuff. This time it looks a bit meh. Just spinning, giving us a load of food. But always worth checking. And then come into here because there's a lot of loose loot in here. And it can spawn things which can be worth it. Basic tracking tag can be worth. I normally just add them straight away to my gun. If I die, I've got some tracking for a little bit. Loose loot around here. You've got another civilian chest. Again, can spawn high value loot and random stuff. That's actually a really good thing to grab. That makes it so you can run for pretty much forever for a certain amount of time. Any more loose loot here? No. Loose loot here. Sometimes, yeah, another basic tracking. I'll add that here for now. On the table can have loose loot. Not worthwhile this time round, but I've seen some good stuff here before. Another place to check is on top of here. There can be loose loot on top of this here. I've seen a vase, or like high value loot vase. Again, you've got something that's there. Again, check around here. But yeah, that's about it. So what we'll do now is we'll head back to base. That's everything I kind of want to loot. But actually, what I would also say is a good place to loot. So just come over here with all these dead bodies. They all have things you can search. These are definitely worth just having a little quick look over. You can, if they don't show a item like a little 1x square straight away, you don't have to like do the whole search. But so that's actually got something. What is it worth? Go here. It's got something not worth. These guys, what you got? Money worth. And then have a little here. No. I think that's all the bodies here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely worth checking them when you come along too. Let's now head back to the base. add up exactly what we earned from this trip. Like I said, it didn't really take too long. If you get this trip nailed down and know exactly where you're going, especially if you've got the keys, you don't have to obviously loot the AI as much if you don't want to. I always tend to try and do so just because they can also give you high tier loot along the way. Also, the money does add up and stack up. But if you just want to do it really fast, just run straight to the boxes, the loot boxes. You could get this done within like 5-10 minutes. And it's a very low risk area, especially when you've got cops around it, so you can spawn pretty fast and get back to where you need to go. Okay, so put this over here. This is all stuff we earn. And you can see, to be honest, we've got quite a good haul of stuff here. I'm going to add that money to the pot which we made. We have a ring here, and I think that's fine. Okay, so just a worthy mention, because I know other people are going to also say this when it comes to the high value loot. If you look at the loot here, it will change depending on who you sell it to. So Gunny's going to offer me a 300 extra to go for him. So if you really want to make the best bang for buck, so to speak, you most probably want to sell it to the vendor who sells, gives you the most for each high value loot. I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm just going to go to Banshee because I'm trying to level him up in a minute. All right. So I'm just going to sell everything to Banshee. So let's see how much we get. $7K for everything we've just looted here. So I'm going to bring that over there, and I'm going to bring this down because it wasn't just 7K. We also made the money. So that was 10K. That's a 10K run. There's the possibility, obviously, we could have got some 3++ armor. We didn't get lucky with the chests there. But 10K for what can be 5-10 minutes is very, very good. Anyway, guys, hope this helps. This is going to be one of many different type of loot runs. I don't think this is just the only one you have. There's going to be many. This is just literally, I found this little handy area just because I had to do a mission here anyway. I wanted to farm to get into this area. And then we had the key for this. It had a little look what that is. And I couldn't believe the amount of money I was kind of getting just by these two little areas here. And like I said, this is just one area out of the whole entire place. There's many places you can go and loot and explore. And so I'm going to try and find as many different loot areas as possible for you guys, so you don't always have to go to the same one. Make it always interesting and different each time. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more Grey Zone Warfare.